Hello everybody, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost. Welcome! Are you ready to have some good old scrappy fun today? We're going to be mass making some tearaway notebooks, and I'm going to show you some different tips and tricks on how to assemble them different ways, quick and easy, making them unique, and blow through all those scraps from all those holiday projects. Yay, yay! Okay, so here's some examples. Okay, here's one little guy, and he has a fun little technique, and I want to show it to you. Depending on the scraps you have, you can certainly have a lot of fun. Glued this little thing from somebody's happy mail they sent me, and I thought it was just a nice way to, everything is ephemera. Stuff that comes in your mail today is ephemera. So there you go. Oh, wait, hang on. My microphone's sliding off. Oh, it's back on. Whoop, no, you're hiding now. Come back to me, little guy. No, I don't want to. I'm going off into the bushes. No, come back. Okay, we're clipping him back on. We'll see how it goes. Okay, hope you can hear me. And then there's this little guy. He is just, I have this bucket of scraps. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, that's a great shot, Pam. Okay, here's my bucket of scraps. Here, let me back up a little bit. Oh, there it is. It's very big. Okay, and that's just one. There are several. I did a lot of scrap organization. I separated my scraps into small, medium, and large, and that seems to work well for me. So I can assemble small little tearaway notebooks, medium size, large, you name it, we can do it. All right, so then there's this little guy. Just the torn pieces, some straight cut, some torn, all sorts of different pieces put together. I just sewed them across the top. That was fun and easy. This little guy I staggered, and he is sewn down the middle. You can also staple these. They don't have to be sewn. That's another easy way to do it. Maybe we'll demo some of those. Here's just random tears. You know, you have these skinny little pieces of interesting paper. You can sew them together, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways, or you can staple them together, a couple different ways to do it. And here's this little guy. This is like a solid base with some random things layered over top. Very fun way. And these little bit, why do we make these? I hear you. Okay, third row back, 3 seats over. This is why we make these. So you can tear off little bits and use them in your junk journal at will, at random. Bringing out the artist in you. You can collage with these little pieces. You can write on them, write little stories, quotes, poems. You can tear a little piece of white paper and rubber stamp on it and make some pretty additions with your own embellishments in your junk journals. Just a lot of fun things. These are little launching pad take-off idea places that you can tuck in journals. They're relatively thin, super thin. They go nicely inside a pocket or a tuck, hung over the top of a page, clipped onto a page. They can be tucked in loosely. They can be tucked into snugly into little pockets and things like that. So here's some different examples. Here's when we were doing some paper punching the other day. I have some scraps from that, from some crossword puzzle book, some ledger book. I mean, just little interesting pieces of stuff. It all has different texture, different colors, different flavors. Sometimes they fan out when you're sewing them. See how it fans out at the bottom a little bit? I think that looks kind of cool. Kind of cool and nostalgic. You can ink these. You can not ink these. That's fine. You can, this one, I purposefully fanned it out because this one fanned out. And at first I thought, it fanned out on me. Oh no. But then I thought, hey, that looks kind of cool. So I super fanned this one on purpose. And then I found this piece of old wax paper. It was from days gone by, and it just had the neatest feel to it. And I thought, that's going to be the topper. I mean, that's how simple things can be, yet very effective, giving you different texture and different ways things look. Yeah, almost looks like a badge. Here's the badge of honor of the scrapbooking world and the junk journal creation world. We take our stuff and we transform it because we're just that way. So here's one where I was experimenting. This one I actually I put a bunch of pieces of paper together, and then I glued this across the top, and then I came along and sewed it. I decided I didn't like that method as much. It was bulkier going into my machine, plus I had to deal with the glue and the needle. Not the greatest combination. You can clean off your needle with a little bit of acetone. That will help remove any glue substance. And remember the little base where those little tractor feet are that grab the dogs. The feed dogs. Yeah, there we go. I'm talking like a seamstress now. You want to acetone or rubbing alcohol those a little bit just to get the glue residue off. But it hasn't been too much of a problem as long as you keep your knickers clean, you know what I mean? And then just some random little, sometimes we have just little skinny scraps. We just have these little woo-has, you know? And they would be so pretty if we just put a cute little topperoo on them. And this little topper, I was running some, did I show you the mask making or of the embossing, or did I just do it? I may have just done it. I'll show you. But I just took a pile of scraps. I mean a pile of scraps. And I just ran them through my Sizzix Big Shot, and I embossed on all this different kinds of paper. Craft paper, envelopes, white paper, caramel paper, coffee dye, you name it. I ran it through there. And I found you could run through like pieces that were, you could put like 4 or 5 pieces in the thing and run through it, and it would come out really cool. So let me just show you. So just some regular old white paper, but it just gives it a really fancy, pretty finish. You know what I mean? And you can make stuff with this. You know what I'm talking about? You know? Can you feel me? I hate that expression. Okay, no, hate is a strong word. We don't hate. We dislike. We are not gravitating towards. There we go. Well, it's all good now. Okay, just really pretty. Like you know, this was wrapping, like the packaging from something, and I just thought, oh, that's pretty craft paper. That'll look nice. And whatever it was, here's some old coffee dye paper that had torn. So I thought, oh, you're coming with me. You're running through the thing, and it gives you this nice pile of stuff to play with, and then you can tear it up and use it at will. Okay, so there's that. And then, what else? Look at this little guy. Oh yeah, he was a fold over. So I was trying different ways to assemble them. So I want to show you some optional ways that are fun. And here's a little piece of love from somebody recent. So thank you very much. You know who you are. And so we have all sorts of interesting papers in here, old book pages, Braille. This is an old schematic from something electrical, I think. Yeah, there we go. We'll just roll with that. I see volts on there. I'm going with it. Okay. All right. So, and it gives you this whole pile. I mean, before you know it, you are like loaded with goodies to put in your junk journals. Now, you can come along and do even more to them if you want to. You can rubber stamp on them. Let's just grab a, here's a peg stamp. Just happened to be the closest thing I found. And here's vintage photo. Probably would have been better with black, but that's what I grabbed first. So, boop, bring it in. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're rubber stamping. Just for fun. Like, it doesn't have to be much. It could just be, oh, I didn't even get it on the center. Something like that. Yeah, just something like that. Just to give it something. You know, I mean, you could do more. You could keep going. You could do random ones. Whoops, I rolled. See, there's no end to what you can do with one of these fun little tearaway booklets. So let's grab some scraps and make some booklets. Hey, have you got scraps? Is there somebody who doesn't have scraps? Who are you? And why do you not have scraps? And those of you who do, grab your scraps. Okay, no. And it's okay if you don't have scraps. Maybe you're just starting and you're a little timid and you're kind of wandering in going, oh, I don't know, I'm not ready. I know, I've been there. And you're ready. You are ready. It's okay. Grab your scraps. Let's do this. Okay, and if you don't have scraps, make some. Okay, so let me show you I would say, let's just do this one. And I wanted to show you this one because it uses up a lot of what I call these. These are scrapbook paper end cuts that we often get from junk journal making because they're 12 by 12 often and they're big. So one of the easiest things that you can do that is very effective is you take one of these and you fold it in half. And by the power in me, we fold it in half again. Okay? There we go. Now, we're going to call this the spine of our little book. Okay? Now we're going to take another one. Look at that. Look at us go. We're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to fold it in half again. I know! So now we have two of these spinies on the left. Okay, that's what they look like. But these are connected, so we need to do something about that. So you can come along and you can either guillotine cut it. I'm just going to use fancy scissors here because I think it looks cute. And you can do these at the same time if you have the power of Hercules, or do them separately if not. And that's perfectly okay. All right, and now you have free sheets. And you can decide how you want to arrange them. You can just tuck them all in together. As they are, you can shuffle them up a little bit. You can put this one next, then this one. And it has a lot of nice white sheets in here for you to write on. There's lots of writing space. You can write over all of this. So, and all I did was I sewed right down here. So let's do a quick demonstration of somebody who doesn't know how to sew, sewing. Okay, here we go. All right, now I put my machine over here, so things are a little different, so bear with me. Okay, we're trying this, seeing how it works. Okay, come on over here, a little more arm. Okay, so I've got it on number 1, which is a straight stitch, and I'm just gonna, you can run down the center or the back, it doesn't matter. Where's my foot? Got to put the foot down, put your foot down. Oh, holy mackerel, stay still, Sally. Okay, it's better if you stay still, yeah, but I was a little rambunctious there. It's okay though. Yeah, and probably with paper, it's better to have your stitches spaced farther apart so you have fewer perforations, because the more perforations in paper, the more chance of a piece coming off. It'll almost work like a perforated ticket. And that's another way if you want to do perforations in your papers. Just run it through the sewing machine without any string. Voila, perforations. I know, right? Yeah, hey. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we have this little guy. And then let's say you wanted to put something on it. I'm just going back in the old tickle trunk here of stuff. I'm just looking for random stuff. Okay, like here's some cool ads from old vintage books. Oh, electronic ads, mechanic ads. These are kind of cool. I think that would look nice. Let's try that. Give it a little torn edges. Oops. Oh, Sonny's dreaming. Okay, it's okay, Sonny. All right, maybe we'll just put that on an angle. It fits. Get some glue. And we're pretty much done. I mean, you can put any... This is two pages. This is 2 pages. Oh, okay, well, here. What's that? Amazing fun for the family. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's got it. Okay, we'll go with this one. And that was Scotch Create glue stick, in case anybody's wondering. I just like the glue. Okay, there we go. And done. Okay, and you can keep going and decorate more, or you can just add this as a little tuck-in. You could also come around and ink the edges if you wanted. But if you're just mass making and making a bunch of these, maybe you just want to make the basic structures, and you can always fancy it up as you go along. Okay, so next, so that was that idea. Okay, let's do the other idea. This was the staggered idea using the same approach. So if your pages, if you want your book taller, you can stagger them and make a taller book. So let me show you how we did that. Very easy again. Same concept. No rocket science here. Fold it in half and then fold it in half. These were originally 12 by 12 pieces of paper, so I guess they're 12 inches long to begin with. But it really doesn't matter. You don't have to measure this stuff. Just look at it and say, hey, could somebody write something on here? Or could somebody put a little picture in here? That would be really cute. And you run with it. That's how it happens. Okay, so these, maybe I'll just cut with regular scissors. I want to stay here with you guys. I don't want to be going anywhere. I'm right here, right here. Okay, all right. Now this one, I'm going to stagger, but I've decided I'm going to put all the white pages on the inside, so there's writing space. And then I'm just going to stagger these. Let's see, that goes there. Maybe this one here. And then maybe that one there. All right, how cute is that, right? That's like totally cute. All right, let's go ahead and sew this. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. That was a strange noise. We won't talk about that. No. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, now Pam, widen your stitches because you're telling everybody that's a good idea. You gotta do it. Go to 5. Okay, I'm going to 5. And you're done. You also get done faster when you widen your stitches, but it is effective because you get fewer perforations. Let's see if I can show you the difference here. Okay, can you see how far apart the perforations are? Well, that's where I changed it. See, close, far. Okay, I'll back up a little so you can see what on earth is going on. Close, far. Better with paper. Yeah. So, in my opinion, anyway. And there we go. So there's another little base, a little base notebook. So I guess we'll just stick you down because we have you here. You're already half stuck. We might as well use you up. Right? Right? All right, we'll just put you that way. There we go. A little interesting piece of paper somebody can read. Okay, so those are easy, right? Super easy, nothing fancy. Okay, now we're moving up the scale. Let's just grab some random scraps. Okay, I'm just diving in and I'm random scrap grabbing. Okay, I don't know what's coming. It's going to be scary. Hold on to your hat. Okay, we have that. I'm going to back up so you can see better. Okay, Tilting, better view. Okay, so I just have some wides and I have some narrows. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can fold one. You don't have to fold any of them. You can do simple straight pieces. But let's start with foldies. Fold one, and then let's add to the outside. Maybe I want to have this braille showing, okay? But now we're just going to layer. Doesn't matter if they're even. See how this is shorter than that? It doesn't matter. They don't all have to match at the bottom either. It doesn't matter. Why? Because they're tearaway scrap books. And everything is fine. So there are no rules. Okay, here's a single piece. Can I use that? Yes, I can just put it right there. But how can you do that? It's not doubled like the rest. It's okay because they're scraps. It just is. Okay, here's a piece of newspaper, which is really cool. It has some old vintage ad on it. I think I'd like to put that on the front. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now, all right, I've done that. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew across here. But the next one I'm going to make, we're going to staple. Yeah. Okay, so I'm coming over here, sewing. Same thing. I'm going to do a zigzag this time, just for fun. Here we go. Zigging. We're zigging and we're zagging, just for fun. Okay, not necessary, but it gives a nice little aesthetic. Very pretty at the top. Now you can go ahead and add little pieces of ribbon and things like that, but it's not necessary because that's already really pretty. But you could totally come along and glue something on there. You know, that would be really pretty. Or you can even take these little pieces that you've been cutting off and you can glue them across the top. I would just giving it a little bit extra something. I mean, everything has a purpose and a use. You know, it's great. All right, we come back over here. All right, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not making anybody seasick. All right, let's carry on with the free flow thought of how to assemble these little tearaway scrapbooks. Okay, another way is folding and then adding to the inside. Yes, let's say you have a really pretty piece of paper. Okay, let's say this braille paper. And we're like, oh man, that's really pretty. I don't want to mess it up. I want it to show on the cover. I want that to be the cover of my little book. Okay, that's fine. So now you add to the inside. So you take some other scraps that you have and you just start to fold them in half. Okay, this is we're doing the folded technique right now, okay? And you start to layer them. They don't have to be as wide as your cover, but you layer them in a sliding layer cake manner, coming across, okay? And I'll put this one here. And there can be all these little white strips too. They're fine. They're fine for little tearaways and writing. That's totally fine. It's okay. And maybe some graph paper. Okay. Okay. Now we have that. And we have this. Now let's go ahead and insert this inside. Now we're doing the inside maneuver. Okay. And then we're going to come along and we're going to sew across this way. All right. So here we go. We're over here and we're sewing. And I'm going to go back to the straight stitch. Okay, just because this one's kind of smaller, so straight stitch might be better in this case. Wide straight stitch, yes, and you have to reset that every time, just so you know. It doesn't remember if you change, at least on my machine, it doesn't remember that I wanted a wide stitch. I have to reset it. If I change the stitches from straight to zigzag, back and forth. Okay, here we go. And there it is. Now you can leave it as is. You can say, oh, I don't, it's weird at the bottom. Just come along and do one of those deals. And now it's all kind of ruffly and hoo-ha. And that's kind of cool. It's got a little issue here. And so now the person opens it and they have all these interesting little papers to work with. All different colors, all different feels, all different shapes, all different textures, and they can tear off little bits and add them to their journal and make their own little clusters or page tabs or things like that. Very fun, very fun. Okay, you can also, you know, come along and add a button or a bow or something like that. Let's say, it needs a little something. Pam, could you put a little something there? Just anything. Okay, maybe it needs that, you know, or maybe it needs that, you know, or it doesn't need any of that. Maybe it just needs this, or how about a piece of this? Maybe it needs, like, we have this little leftover piece here. We could do, okay, what's that? Okay, there's a little blank area here. Oh, you can't see, you're too far away. There's a little blank area here. Here's the braille, here's the blank. Maybe you just want to put a little something. You know, sometimes you just want to put a little something. You can do that, yeah, with your scraps. Okay, here we go. All right, okay, and we put down. There we go. And then we're off and running. Now you can go ahead and put more rubber stamps and things like that, or you can just leave it as is. I think it's a cute little starter base. And what I'm doing is making base scrappy notebooks. So these are ready to grab and go, lots of fun. Okay, so now let's go to the next way to make these. Just still working with the stuff I grabbed. I'm trying to use up my stuff, and I'm thinking a lot of us are probably in the same situation. So this is the no fold technique. All right, the no fold technique is you just grab a paper. All right, this happens to be from Leonardo da Vinci book. It's a nice thick paper. Doesn't have to be. It can be thick, thin. It's totally your apple. And you just start layering. You can layer in the front or you layer in the back. It's all good. Okay, I am going to layer in the front. I'm just going to pick things that are of different colors, okay, just to show a little contrast. And that's where the white pieces can really come in handy here for some pop. So, you know, sometimes we like, oh, it's just a strip of white piece of paper. No, it has it has the power of contrast. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is a very nice piece here. So once you get like 4 or 5 like that, you can totally say you're done. Now you can come along and you can just sew across the top and you're done. You can also fold forwards and give yourself like a little roof top to it, or you can fold backwards and just thicken up the top a little bit and say you're done. Okay, so now I said I was going to staple something, right? Let me get out my Tim's Tiny Attacher. Tim, that sounds weird. That's all I can say. It's a stapler. It's a teeny tiny stapler. If you don't have one of these, you can totally use a regular stapler. Okay, all right, so let's try the forward fold. Okay, here we're forward folding. We're making it like a little overhang roof, okay? Very cute, very effective. Maybe 3, I don't know, give it 3 just for security's sake. And done, and we are done. And now these, you can leave these like this. You can give them little torn bottoms and give them different lengths. Of course, you're also creating more scraps and you get to deal with that. But now we have this. Do you want to cover it? Do you want to leave it as it is? I might be inclined to cover it just because, you know, you don't have to. And sometimes the industrial metal look against the cream paper actually looks kind of cool. So that is totally in your ball camp of, you know, how to decorate. I'm just going to use just a little piece of old vintage ad scrap here. This stuff makes great things to cover with. Yeah, I mean, there you go, you know. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be intense. Okay, here's a little pretty little flower off of something. That looks like a DigiKit that got printed onto a journal page, which is kind of a cool concept. But these little pieces, you know, these little, like, nothings, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, all you need is an afternoon and a little will. You sit down and you can start playing with these. You know, it's very easy. Like maybe this time you want to use something different. Like maybe you've got some old postage stamps or you got some stamps. Do you get mail? Anybody here get mail? Grab your postage stamps off there. They're going to look cool whether they're old or new. Here's Oliver Wendell Holmes. Hey, you need to be on this, Oliver Wendell Holmes. We are just going to glue you on here because we can. That's right. I like the torn edge, so we go with the torn edge a little bit. It's a little more fuss, but you know, it's all right. It's easy to do. Okay, so where would you like to be? You could be here, you could be here. Let me just go closer so you can see a little better. Oliver, you could also be here like as a little topper, and maybe we'll do that with you, Oliver. Just make you a little topper. Okay, I'll put you on an angle. Okay, I'm gonna put you straight. Yeah, you're gonna be straight. Okay, there we go. All right, there is Oliver Wendell Holmes, and he is on this little tearaway notebook, which I think is such an easy way to make use of all our little scrappy pieces. So that was the single layering technique. Okay, let's back it up and we'll take a look at another quick, easy type. Okay, this is called the random, makes no sense, layering scrappy notebook. Okay, so sometimes you're going to have pieces that are looking like torn, weathered, broken, you know, they just really don't have any shape to them. But you can actually gather them together and they just come to life, especially if you give them a little backdrop. You can layer them on their own, but sometimes they don't contrast enough against themselves. But let's say you have a little white piece of paper hanging around here. So maybe you want to put this guy down. Yeah, that piece is going to fall off, but that might be fun. Somebody might say, hey, that was kind of cool. I'm glad that fell off because now I have something to play with. And you can take other little pieces, maybe that little leftover piece we just took, and create some contrast between the two of these. So noisy, quiet, and maybe here's a July 22nd. This is probably 1898, I would imagine, or was that 86? I don't know, but it's a long time ago. It's an old paper. And so little pieces and bits like that maybe tore off or fell off or something, you know what I mean? These can be gathered together and create a happy little home for everybody. Here's a funny little piece that has no home. So these little funny pieces that have no home, you can somehow arrange them into the cutest little thing, you know what I mean? So let's just sew him because he's easy to do. And we're wide. I'm just going to run it. He's a quickie. Yeah, all right. We have this little guy. I mean, isn't he cute? I mean, he has character. You have to admit, he has character. And lots of place for people to write. Where'd my peg stamp go? Nope, gotta get another one. Okay. We have a squirrel. Is that raccoon? Sorry, raccoon. Okay, let's grab another color. Oh, I found the black soot. Okay, we got black soot, distress ink. And here we go. And we're stamping. So you can get lost in this process for literally hours, and it can be fun. And you're going to use up your scraps, and you're not going to be beating yourself up over, you know, creating a lot of stuff and then having a pile of scraps and feeling guilty about getting rid of your scraps and all that stuff. No, you're going to see that little piece just wants to fall off. You're going to transform these into fun things for people to be able to tuck into your junk journal. Let me just move all my little scrappies aside. And all sorts of different ways to assemble them. So there's no right or wrong way. Here's, remember, very skinny pieces. You can do that. Bigger pieces, layer those together. These are like a single on top and two foldeds underneath. You can do that. Little bits and pieces and parts, they all come in handy. There is all the punch outs from punches that we do. I just sewed it down the middle there. And you can also, you don't have to just sew it down the middle. There's no have to. You can sew it this way, or you could fold it and you could just sew it there. Because these are little tiny, easy to get into booklets. And they make it fun for anybody coming by. You can put handwriting on to decorate. Maybe you're going to use some things from your Christmas tags and Christmas cards you can incorporate in here. Some old ledger. Always looks kind of cool. You can emboss a whole bunch of old papers like your scraps and then use them in little bits. You can take little nostalgic pieces of material or fabric or papers that you come across and use them as little toppers. I mean, this is probably my favorite tag. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just love that little crinkly old piece of wax paper. What did it hold before? Was it a little candy? Was it wrapping some paper? Was it holding stamp? What was it? I don't know. Actually, I probably do know. It probably came from stamps. I had so a whole bunch of stamps come in, and I think it was wrapped around those. You can try different stitches. You can try the zigzag. You can try the straight stitch. If you have all the 47 million other stitches like this machine does, which I barely use, you can try those and just have fun. You can learn as you go and see how your machine and your papers react to different stitches, stitch types, speed of stitching, that kind of stuff. If you want to go down that alley, you can make tiny little ones. They don't have to be big. You can make here's the this style, the little booklet style, out of these. If you have these cutoffs, yeah, make some cute little notebooks out of them. Very quick, very easy, very handy. And there you go. Here my hand-dyed papers are drying in the oven, so I guess it's time to head off and grab those, put another load in. And so I hope you had fun here. This was fun for me to show this with to you guys. And I hope you're having fun mass making and building your little stashes up for the awesome new year that we are going to have together. Come heck or high water, we're going to have fun. Gall darn it, dag nabbit. And so if you want to join me, come on along for the ride. We are so happy you are here. Thank you for everybody, for all your support and encouragement all along. You guys are amazing, and you are my fire. And I truly appreciate you being here. I know you know you can always make more money. You can't make more time. So when you invest or spend your time with me, I really, really appreciate that and never take that for granted. So thank you very much. And for everybody who is new, Welcome. Don't know how you found me, but thank you very much for taking a chance and wandering on in. And just so you know, okay, everybody else, you can zone out because you hear this every time and it drives you batty, I know. My videos, hey, they come out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 a.m. Eastern time. My podcasts, they come out Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they're brand new every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's about junk journaling, paper crafting, life of a crafter, and answering crafty questions and anything related to that kind of stuff. And you can find me on Apple and Spotify and Google and all the places you normally listen to podcasts. And also I'm salt and peppering in some of my Spotify now allows you to upload video podcasts. So a lot of people have not seen my older videos, so I am putting some of those on the podcast as well on Spotify, so you can take a pic of those. And also to see some of my older journals. So there's some flip throughs there if you want to get ideas for what you can put into journals. And you can also see the progression. And this is very normal and natural that people change their style as they go, because we learn new techniques and we advance and we want to try things. So you're going to kind of see that as we go through the progress. But all of my videos are located on my YouTube channel, which is my home base. And I have a free monthly email newsletter. It's free. That's right. And hey, if you haven't joined, come on and join. Why? Because you get a free monthly digital email to you every month in different sizes on one page, so you can use it in many different ways. I'm trying to make it easy for you. And you can save it and print it out and use it in your artwork and have a lot of fun with it. And you'll also get junk journal tips from me, a note from the bookmaker, which explains what a junk journal is and how to use it in different ways you can play with it, especially if you get squirrely face, or if you give it to somebody, your junk journal, and they goes like, what is this thing? What is this giant thing that you've just given me? I don't know what to, yeah, here's the explanation. There you go. And actually, you're going to find, I love this. Somebody just told me this story. It was great. She said, yeah, I gave the junk journal to my friend and she absolutely loved it. But her husband came running across the floor and grabbed it out of her hand and started going through it like page by page and looking through every little thing. And he was like enamored by the whole thing. And so you never know who is going to be excited by the works that you create. We have no control over that in life. But you know what? Let's just keep creating and sending them out there and see what happens. Because maybe 100 years from now, somebody will find our junk journals and they'll wonder, who was that person? What were they thinking when they made this? Look at all these things that they stored away for us. It doesn't matter whether your papers are old or new. It doesn't. The only thing that really matters is that you have fun along the way. So I also have an Etsy shop with vintage digital kits. They're printable downloads. If you want a quick and easy way to do themes and stuff like that, there's 5 pages in each. They're easy to cut out. And I'm always putting out new images. I try and do some every month so you can have some new things to pick from and play with. And if you don't have a printer, hey, I have a print and mail service. I will print. You just give me the list of 10 digikits you want, and I will print them out and mail them to you. All you do is send me the list via email at pam@thepaperoutpost.com, or you can send the list right in Etsy via Etsy message, no problem. And then you purchase the print and mail option, and then there you go. I send them to you. So that seems to be successful. People seem to like that service, so I'm going to keep that service running at least for a while. Everything's running smoothly. I was worried if is my printer going to give out or poop out or something, but no, it's actually been working very well. And I didn't know what people will want it, but apparently you guys like it, so I'm going to keep it around a little while. So there you go. Also, I have the Amazon shop where you can find favorite tools and supplies. So if you're looking for Tim and his tiny attacher, you can find it there. You know what I'm saying? And or you can buy a regular stapler too. I think you probably have one of these if you look really deep. And you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Oh, I have FUNDLEs. If you don't know what a FUNDLE is, it's a collection of antique and vintage papers, hand-dyed papers, postcards, receipts, old checks. I mean, just really interesting things to make junk journals of, and they come in 100-piece packs, and I pack them all together, and I send them off to you. So if you're interested in really authentic old papers and you want to feel and read and learn about times gone by, that's an awesome place to start, especially if you want to have a fun way to have a bunch of things that have a lot of variety in one place. To get you started. And then you'll find out what you really love, and you can always go from there. All my links are in the drop-down description box below, and if you're on your phone, touch the title, and somehow magically that opens up the drop-down description box. But I'm also learning how to put the links over here. I think they're over here somewhere. The timing might be a little off, but I'm going to try and put important links there so it's easy for you to find stuff and you don't always have to go digging in the drop-down box. And if you find value here, please like, subscribe, and share, and click the bell. And remember, most of all, that Mr. Snuffles has something to say. Hold on. He's right here. Come here, Bumbles. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. You want to tell him about your story? Yes, I would like. Oh, I'm a little sleepy. She got me out of the bed. Oh, I'm looking kind of funky this morning. But you give me a little hairbrush or something. Okay, here I am. Mom bought me a new coat. It's a little embarrassing. It's a red puffer coat. Yep, I thought I was in the clear. Got rid of the green chenille thing that looked like the bathroom mug. I gotta get out of here. Just gonna put the coat on me. We'll try again. Okay. I can't even bear it. It's just, oh, I look like I'm wearing a red garbage bag that's puffy. I can't even, I look funny. Yeah. Oh, that's my nose. Okay, so I think you've said enough this morning. Okay, bye everybody. See you later. All right. Your voice changed. Are you growing up? I think he's getting older. Oh, teenage years. You know how the voice changes. Well, that's how it goes. But anyway, everybody, have lots of fun. Remember that fun can be simple and create with reckless abandon. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.